I'm sorry, I think this is the most heated I am going to get in a video. I started talking as soon as I clicked play. Surely there's no audio problems at the beginning of this video. Please, for the love of God. I was literally just about to step into bed. You see that down there? You see that? That's Dave. That's my bed. I sleep on the floor. I've done this for a very long time. I just like it. That has nothing to do with it, okay? That's my bed. I had to lay down. You normally don't see it in my videos because I normally don't do this right before I was going to bed. I'm supposed to wake up in like 6 hours for an 8-hour car drive where I'm going to be driving the whole way, okay? I need to be going to sleep right now. But I just saw the worst piece of news I could have imagined before I went to bed. Unfortunately, I made the awful mistake of checking the news before I went to bed. I don't know how I ended up here. No. I saw this in a YouTube video. Why was I don't know. It doesn't matter. I ended up seeing it right before I went to bed. We all called this. We all knew this was going to happen. Ghislaine Maxwell told DOJ Trump never did anything concerning around her. Sources. I don't know why it says sources right there. Of course she was gonna say that. Of freaking course she was gonna say that. During her 9-hour speaking with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche last month, Ghislaine Maxwell said nothing during the interview that would be harmful to President Donald Trump, telling Blanche that Trump had never done anything in her presence that would have caused concern, according to sources familiar with what Maxwell said. The Trump administration, meanwhile, is considering publicly releasing the transcripts from the interview. Multiple sources familiar with the internal discussions told ABC News. Maxwell's meeting with Blanche took place for 9 hours over 2 days. There is also an audio recording of the interview, the sources said, but it's not clear whether the administration plans to release the audio to accompany any public release of the transcript. Let me paint this full picture here. And in fact, I'm going to add, I talked about this a couple days ago, about just this crazy meeting that was going to happen, that shouldn't be happening, that did, and now it just stumbled, it just went all the way down the line. I missed this point. I didn't see this point. The DOJ meeting that happened between Maxwell and the other guy, I forgot his name, what was the other guy? Between Maxwell and Blanche, okay? The DOJ meeting that happened between Maxwell and Blanche happened after Maxwell initiated the contact. She started the whole thing. So let's just lay out the series of events that has happened so far. Ghislaine Maxwell, she says, hey, come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come to my prison. I will talk to you. Meanwhile, leading up to this whole thing, the Trump administration said, hey, the Epstein files, big thing. We need to release the Epstein files. There's a lot of bad people in there. Hey, they don't exist. Oh, where'd they go? Oh, we looked into them, and we found that we didn't find anything, actually, after looking into them. We found that they didn't exist. After looking into them, we found they didn't exist. They were on my desk, but they're not anymore, because they never existed. They were never on my desk. And they're gone now. And then, oh, y'all are so mad at me. Y'all are so mad at us. Y'all are so mad at me. Hold on. Wait. Why are we so focused on this? Look. Biden's son did bad stuff. Biden's son did some bad things, and we're gonna start moving nuclear arms around, and this sports team needs to change their name, and Texas just flooded. There's all this other bad stuff. You need to look at those. Hey, Mr. Trump, I would like to talk to you. Please come to my prison. I've got some things I would like to say to you. Oh, yes, Maxwell. We would love to go to your prison in private with one person and talk to you. And actually, I've never considered maybe a pardon for Maxwell. It's not really something I've considered. Same way there were so many other people who I also said I never considered a pardon with, and then subsequently just came out and decided that they deserved a pardon. Yes, I definitely do not have a history of deciding that saying publicly that someone, I've never thought of giving someone a pardon and then doing it. I've never done that. And Maxwell, I've never really considered giving her a pardon. Oh yes, very, very nice meeting we just had, Ghislaine Maxwell. Very nice meeting in private that we haven't released any records of, and no one was around except me and you, and a pardon that we may potentially be hanging over your head. We had a very good meeting. In fact, to reward you for your very good meeting, we're gonna move you from the prison that you're currently at to a low security prison that's mainly populated by prisoners that either have a really short term left on their sentence or really good ones, the really good ones. And oh, what's that? Ghislaine Maxwell told DOJ Trump never did anything concerning around here? Oh, yes, I trust that. I'll believe that at face value, especially considering all the stuff that led up to this situation. Yes, nothing suspicious at all happened right in front of our faces. Not a single thing. I'm not normally one to believe conspiracy theories all the time. You know, like, I think there are some that are really fun, but there's never one that I've just fell face first into, like this one right here. I swear, like, it doesn't matter how much the government can possibly tell me that there was no fishy business going on with Trump and Epstein. It does not matter how much they can tell me that. Until they release the files that say he actually did it, I will never believe that he didn't, because of all of the stuff that just has happened around this whole situation. This is exactly what I said would happen whenever I talked about this last time. After all the, like, the hanging a pardon over her head, and then like meeting in secret, and then, you know, now knowing that she initiated the contact, she's not going to say anything incriminating. If she initiated the contact, she gains nothing. She gains less than nothing from incriminating Trump. Okay? The only thing that she would even possibly get from incriminating Trump, literally, this is something that could happen, right? This is not out of the realm of possibility, is that she calls the DOJ in, says, hey, I would like to talk to you. The DOJ appointed by Trump, mind you, one that has so far, you know, gone head over heel for everything Trump has wanted. As far as I'm aware, I may be wrong. I'm not going to fact check that right now. I'm just going to keep talking. She calls him in and says, hey, I'm going to tell you this stuff. What does she gain from saying that Trump was in those files? Because Mr. DOJ could just say, I'm not going to release that. We're not going to publicize that I released that or anything. Or we can just lie and say she never said anything and not release the transcripts, right? Because they don't have to. They don't have to. Or even what I believe is going to happen, because if we scroll down, it says that they haven't considered a public release of the audio recording, which where we're at now with AI at this point, again, like I said, I will never believe that Trump didn't do anything until they release the proof that he did do something, because there's just nothing, at this point, there's nothing they can do to convince me otherwise. I thought I was supposed to be getting into that, but I just strayed so far off, because we're at the point, like, I sound crazy. To myself, I feel like I sound crazy, because I swear, every day after work, this is like poison. It's like poison. If any of y'all know who Dean Withers is, or Parker, his profile name is Parker Get a Job. I've unfortunately found myself in the realm of, it's like cocaine. It's like cocaine. I grew up during the first Trump administration. I actually was a supporter of Trump. I'll admit, I was. I was young and I was stupid, and during that time I would watch a bunch of like crying liberal videos just because like I was of the age where, and you know, of the mindset where, you know, I found them entertaining, the stupid little child that I was back then. And fortunately I grew up, I became an adult, I grew out of that stuff. It's not entertaining anymore, but I've just found these two kids, right? I think they're 20, I mean, they're really not that much younger than me, but they're like pretty educated on the topic, right? And I'm going off on a rant here. I apologize. I'm really going off on a rant now. But just like the way they format their stuff, you can, if you look at Dean's channel right now and click on his live page, you can see the way he does his thumbnail. It's like the crying liberal stuff, but for the left, right? It's like crying Republican content. And he keeps having these people come through his lives. Like literally, 90% of the people who come through are the dumbest people you've ever met, unironically. And the unfortunate part about that is that the people who come through, they just sound incredibly stupid on his lives because of just the way he positions it. I'm going off on another rant again. I'm not going to go that way. Something that they constantly do is if you have like the bottom barrel, oh, my head's annoying me. My hair's annoying me, sorry. If you have the bottom barrel, if he scrapes someone off the bottom of the barrel to come onto these lives, there's a clip that he plays constantly. It's like, I feel like I hear it daily, of Trump on a podcast with Howard Stern, where he's talking about walking into the dressing room of these underage girls who were at his pageant. And you hear it so often, because it's only an audio clip that he plays. It's only an audio clip that he plays. You hear it so often where they say, oh, that's AI. That's AI. Surely that's AI. AI is so easy to make now. That's AI. I'm not going to believe that's real. That's what I feel like right now. That's what I feel like right now. There is no audio recording they can release to make me believe otherwise, because I'm just going to write it off as AI. It's going to be so hard for me to hear that and actually believe it. And even past that, if they release the transcript, if they just released a transcript, I'm not going to believe that either. I'm not going to believe that either, because that's so easy to mess with. Like, even at this point, I don't even think a video would do it for me. I might be able to see a video, and because we're not there yet, right now, today, we are at the point where they could give me a video and I would be able to believe it. I can see enough of video to understand it. Audio, you can make that indistinguishable from what she would actually sound like and what she would actually say. There's no way they took a video. That's not going to come out. I'm not going to get that. It doesn't matter what they release here. I don't think I'll believe it. And it makes me sound crazy. It makes me sound crazy, and I hate that that's the way it is, but unfortunately that just is the way it is. I went on a rant. I feel like I was supposed to be going somewhere like 5 minutes ago before I just took the train to nowhere. Everyone saw this coming. Everyone saw this coming. You're telling me she's going to contact you. You're going to potentially hold a pardon over her head. He didn't outright say he was going to, but historically, the things that he said aligned with him considering a pardon, despite him routinely saying during those, like, it was him saying, I'm not considering a pardon, which flags the public that he is considering a pardon. She contacts him. He considers a pardon. They have a secret meeting. She moves to a very low security prison, and then it comes out that he didn't do anything at all. He was never implicated, despite so much evidence that he was, so much of his actions implying that he was and that he did, and other people around this implying that he was and did. There's so much evidence saying that this should be the case. It's so hard for me to believe under this circumstance that it's not true. We need there's nothing they can release. Genuinely, there's nothing they can release. There's not a single thing. They could release every single file that they have related to Epstein, right? That they have, okay? Because they have now told us that they don't have certain files. So they could release every single one of their files. And until we get a client list of all the people who engaged in these acts with the minors, I don't know. Just nothing. And it would be so easy to just say that client list doesn't exist. I mean, that's what they have said. They've said the client list doesn't exist. They could release every single Epstein file. They could release the audio transcripts of this conversation right here. And despite that, I still don't think there's anything they can release to make me believe otherwise, unfortunately. And it really sucks that I'm stuck in this situation. It really does. And I hate having to admit that there's nothing they can do to make me believe otherwise. Anyways, that's it. Everyone called this play-by-play. I'm awaiting the pardon. I'm awaiting the pardon. It's like, I would be so incredibly surprised if it doesn't happen at this point. And then when it does, he's just going to be pardoning a pedophile because she was nice to him. Like, that's literally it. That is just exactly what's going to be happening. And I'm just not having fun anymore. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go to bed now. Good night.